Everybody was scared to talk about it because he'd have him killed. Yeah, it's really wild, man. I don't know how many people came out of the fame as a young person and were fine, but the people that stay and keep doing it, they're not fine. Most of them. I mean, maybe there's a few. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible to do, but I'm saying the challenge of becoming a normal person with like a normal view of the world when, you know, you're getting doted on when you're 6 and you're the moneymaker in the house when you're a little kid, like your parents stop working to manage you. You know, Justin Bieber had a post the other day on his Instagram talking about all the drugs that he did when he was younger and how much it f***ed him up. And now he's got a relationship with the Lord and he's got, you know, he's married and he's trying to be a normal person.
Yeah.
But he's struggling with the fact that he was insanely famous when he was a kid. And then there's also like people that are elites and that's their thing. Like their thing is to do something that is horrible and, you know, it's not available to other people. So it's like, I think there's like a sickness that people have when they have power, like extreme power, and then well, what else can I do? What else can I do? What else is what else is taboo? What else is forbidden? You know, when you're a little kid and you become famous, like, and you're the one calling the shots, you realize all these people you're responsible for their income.
Yeah,
your
brain's still developing, and you have everybody saying yes around you. Yeah,
his brain is still developing now. Your frontal lobe isn't even fully formed until you're 25. Evil is a real thing, you know. Nobody wants to believe, because if you believe in the devil, right? If you believe in Satan, you believe in something that's silly. Like most people a lot of people believe in God. If you ask people, do you believe in God? Yeah, well, I'm not religious, but I believe in God. Okay, well, do you believe in the devil? Most people will say no. But do you believe in evil acts? Well, yeah, well, people certainly do evil things. Well, where do you think that comes from? If evil is real, what is it about us that makes us want to deny the possibility that there's some nefarious force that is in human beings that influences human beings? It's not as simple as like some people are bad, some people are good. No, maybe evil is a real element that you have to fight in life, and that maybe this is just something that's been documented all throughout history, but our arrogance and our secular society wants to keep us from recognizing that as an actual factor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like 190,000 million fucking Instagram. I mean, she's got 160 or something
like
crazy
130
shit.
and 150 or something like that.
Fucking insane. Like,
handling that in her 20s.
Oh, how do you not be crazy? And good luck when you're older.
We had seen these videos of Justin Bieber being handed over to him at age 15. Great job. Great job. For his weekend with Diddy camp. I mean, we don't know, but it certainly looks like Justin Bieber is still suffering the fallout from whatever happened to him as he was coming up the ranks of the music world. It really doesn't seem worth it. I mean, I'd love to hear more from his camp about what's real, because it's clear he's suffering. We just don't know from what. And what mother out there would give her 15-year-old boy over to a grown man who's in the rap industry for a weekend with Diddy camp without other adult supervision?
Because I think if a victim comes out against Usher, it'll show how egregious this shit is. Because if he can be a predator, then anybody can be a predator.
Can't smile in your face the whole time.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, people look at Usher, they don't see that. They're not seeing the victim. They're not seeing that boy that got rushed to the hospital. They're not seeing what the intentions was in his heart when he took Justin Bieber there.
Oh.
Let's be honest. He took Justin Bieber there. Diddy had been trying to get to Bieber for a minute. And his management was backing him off. But it wasn't until Usher took over management and had guardianship and gave temporary guardianship to the diddler for 48 hours. Think about that.
You know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also while you're
He
out.
got me a Lamborghini.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house. And he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
Joe Rogan is furious right now. On his latest podcast episode, Rogan didn't just call out Diddy casually. He absolutely obliterated him after uncovering disturbing reports, alleged witness testimonies, and resurfaced footage about what Diddy supposedly did to Justin Bieber during a period of temporary guardianship when Justin was just 15 years old. Rogan completely lost it on air emotionally. Rogan said, "This guy was put in charge of a teenager, and he used it as a chance to manipulate, control, and traumatize a kid trying to survive in the music industry." Joe roared, slamming his fists on the table aggressively, and nobody said a word around him. Not one adult around him protected him properly. For the first time, pieces are being connected clearly. What once looked like flashy, celebrity mentorship now looks like targeted grooming behavior. And Joe Rogan is putting the spotlight exactly where he believes it belongs, on Diddy directly. Back in 2009, when Justin Bieber's career was just taking off rapidly, Diddy offered to be a mentor to the young Canadian superstar publicly. What the public didn't know at the time was that Diddy reportedly had temporary guardianship over Justin for several weeks, giving him full access to the teenager's schedule, living space, and daily activities. Rogan pulled up interviews from that time, pointing out how young Justin looked, how uncertain his voice sounded during those clips. "You could tell he was uncomfortable," Rogan said seriously. He wasn't ready for that world, and Diddy brought him straight into it. The podcast host read from archived articles and dug into alleged court records that documented the informal arrangement. "It's all there," Joe said confidently. "People just didn't look closely because they thought it was mentorship, but when you peel it back, it starts to look like something else entirely." And that's where the real concern begins. Midway through the episode, Joe's producer played clips that have since gone viral online. Videos of Justin Bieber at age 15 being led around by Diddy at exclusive industry parties publicly. In one particularly disturbing clip, Diddy boasts on camera, "I'm going to take him under my wing. He's going to hang with me for 48 hours and he's never going to be the same." Joe froze instantly. "You don't say that about a child," he growled. "That's not mentorship. That's a threat." Rogan pointed out the unease in Justin's body language, his fake laughs, and the way he constantly looked around for help nervously. That's a scared kid. That's not a celebrity having fun. That's someone who doesn't know how to say no yet. According to multiple former Bad Boy insiders allegedly, Justin was taken to several of Diddy's infamous private parties, even as a minor at that time. These weren't typical Hollywood parties at all. They were private, highly controlled environments where celebrities, influencers, and guests were required to give up their phones and sign NDAs strictly. Rogan read out quotes from whistleblowers who claimed they saw Bieber sitting in the corner of these events looking pale and uncomfortable while adult men and women engaged in inappropriate behavior around him. One source said Justin looked like he wanted to leave, but Diddy would laugh and say he needs to grow up sometime. Joe's jaw clenched tightly. That's predatory. That's abuse. I don't care how rich or famous you are. You don't drag a 15-year-old into that mess. Joe then highlighted how after this period, Justin Bieber's behavior took a darker turn publicly. He began having emotional breakdowns, lashing out at paparazzi, and reportedly self-medicating over time. Rogan played clips of interviews where Justin hinted at things he'd seen but couldn't talk about openly. "You can tell this kid is carrying trauma," Joe said. And the worst part is nobody around him helped because Diddy was protected and untouchable in the industry. He went on to say that Diddy's influence over Justin was part of a larger system designed to initiate young stars into a darker side of the entertainment industry allegedly. "It's not a conspiracy when there are this many witnesses. It's not paranoia when you've got patterns," Rogan explained seriously. Rogan dug into the business contracts between Justin and his early handlers, including Diddy's temporary guardianship and collaborative branding deals reportedly. He found patterns that he described as predatory, where Diddy allegedly positioned himself not just as a mentor, but as a gatekeeper to Justin's fame and success. These contracts were structured in a way that made Diddy the handler figure. Joe explained he was taking this kid to parties and then turning around and making money off of his image publicly, while controlling who he saw, where he went, and what interviews he did consistently. Rogan argued that this gave Diddy the perfect cover, mentorship on the surface. In reality, it was manipulation cloaked as career guidance, and the emotional cost to Justin was never factored into the equation. Over the years, Justin Bieber dropped subtle hints in interviews and songs that in hindsight seemed to reference his time under Diddy's influence indirectly. Rogan replayed a clip where Justin says, "People think I had it easy, but there are nights I can't sleep because of things I saw." Joe stared at the screen and said, "You don't say that unless you saw something you weren't supposed to." Another interview from 2015 showed Justin flinching when asked about Diddy. He physically recoiled, Rogan observed. "That's PTSD. You don't fake that." Fans in Rogan's comment section began pulling up more receipts, song lyrics, deleted tweets, and paparazzi footage showing a young Bieber avoiding Diddy at public events years later. "That's not someone who's grateful," Joe said. "That's someone who's trying to escape." Rogan wasn't done yet. He turned his fury on the rest of the industry as well. Where was Scooter Braun? Where was Usher? Where were all the adults who saw this happening? Joe demanded loudly. They all smiled, made their money, and turned a blind eye to it. He called out specific celebrities who had attended the same parties. "You can't claim to protect kids while posing for pictures with Diddy at private after-hours events," Joe said. "You either stand against this or you're part of it." The episode triggered a massive wave of backlash online. Fans, journalists, and even former insiders began speaking out publicly. Several went on record to confirm what Rogan had said, that Diddy abused his power, and Bieber was one of his earliest victims allegedly. Joe hinted that Justin Bieber may soon open up about his past, especially after hearing Rogan's episode directly. "I've heard from someone close to him that he's watching," Rogan said. "He's emotional, he's grateful, and he's thinking about telling his truth." Fans began trending hashtags encouraging Bieber to come forward fully. "He's got an army behind him now," Joe said. "And if he ever speaks out, it's going to blow this thing wide open." Rogan promised to have Justin on the show anytime. "We'll talk. We'll unpack it all. No scripts, just truth." Rogan closed the episode with a chilling message for Diddy. "You thought this would stay buried. You thought you could hide behind lawyers and industry deals, but you left a trail, and now people are following it." He promised more receipts, more interviews, and more witnesses. "I've seen enough to believe Justin was a victim, and I won't stop talking until the world sees it too." The episode ended with silence. No music, no address. Just one final line from Joe. "Diddy, we see you."